Lisa Sabatini for Grapplers Planet at the UFC Fan Expo Grapplers Quest with Ryan Hall. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing pretty well, Lisa. How about yourself?
Good. How was your match today?
It was tough. It was up against Diego Sanchez. He fights in the UFC, but he was actually a really, really good submission grappler before I started grappling. And he was really tough, and I was able to come out ahead on points today. I think I popped his knee a little bit with a heel hook, but he was a really tough guy, didn't tap, got on top, and then was able to get his back at the end, and I think I won 8-2.
Were you expecting the match to go the way that it did, or were you expecting anything different?
Well, I knew it was going to be really tough. In the beginning, the idea, he actually came out without a shirt on today, because yesterday he had a rash guard, and I had this whole plan that involved doing something else, but the idea was, like, right from the get-go, he was already like real sweaty and not going to be easy to get a hold of. So the plan was to go after his legs in the beginning, because I know at the end of the fight he'll be sweatier and it'll be harder to pick up on those. But you know, keep the pressure on, try to put him away with the heel hook, which I was able to do to Jorge Britto yesterday. But because Diego was real tough, got out of that. The plan was to get on his back later on in the fight when hopefully he was a little more winded and unable to make use of that significant weight advantage he had.
How much was the weight advantage?
I'm not really sure, but probably something about 30 pounds. But Diego's tough regardless. He could be half my weight and he'd still be a handful, you know.
That was the finals of a four-man tournament. You fought Jorge Britto from Toronto BJJ yesterday. How did that go?
That was a tougher match as well. Like George is a good black belt from Salo, and I guess he was hand fighting real well, trying to keep me away. When he did engage, I was able to tangle up his legs and finish the footlock pretty quickly. But George is tough, and I knew I had to be careful with him.
So at the end of the four-man tournament, you emerged victorious.
Yay!
Were you expecting that you would win, or?
I mean, I think you always go in expecting to win, you know, because you have to. I really feel like in order to fight your best, you know, you have to, at least for me, I have to try to focus on, you know, what I need to be doing. If I start thinking, man, Diego's really tough, even though it's objectively true, that doesn't really help me execute anything. So I have to just be focused on what I need to try to do. And, you know, at this point, everyone I fight is really good, so there's no point in worrying about it.
So you did bring quite a few students from 50-50 here this weekend. How are they doing?
I actually brought three guys. Brought Ostat Manistrisky, who is actually from Toronto. We Canadians seem to like coming down to 50-50 jiu-jitsu for reasons that aren't really clear to me. But also Kenny Savakul and Seth Smith, my assistant instructor. And Seth won the brown belt absolute. I don't think he was scored on the whole time. 17 or 18-0 in the final. He won his advanced division yesterday. I had to convince him and, you know, beg and plead and threaten to get him to come down here so he would actually corner me in the matches, and then he ended up killing everybody, so I was really happy and proud for him. Kenny won the featherweight advance yesterday, won the featherweight purple belt today with Ostap. They closed it out. Well, they don't close it out. We always fight in the final because that's how Americans do things. We don't close stuff out. I don't know what that is. And anyway, let's see. Ostap ended up with second yesterday in the advanced division, and then lost to Kenny in the finals of the purple belt featherweight. But Kenny actually made it to the final of the purple absolute as well. Ended up losing a tough one in the final, but showed a lot of heart. I was real proud of the guys.
So congratulations on an amazing weekend.
Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate it, and thanks everybody.